Hello. Time passes and things change. That's one of the few things in life that we can be absolutely sure of. Night follows day, rain falls, the tide ebbs, drunk texting is a mistake, and things change. Nothing is immutable, forever unchanging. Well, with the possible exception of Cher. Of course, change can be uncomfortable, even scary, but we can't stop it happening. It is as inevitable as a TD at a rural funeral. We can't freeze the world in one moment in time, as much as we might sometimes like to. But what we can do is fear change or embrace it. The young, of course, are more predisposed to embrace change. When we're young, we want time to speed up. We want to be older. We want to be able to go to the pub. We want our beard to come in or our boobs to develop. The young are impatient for change. They want to change the whole world. But as we get older and more set in our ways, we're more inclined to wish that time would slow down, and we can become more wary of change. I suppose it's only natural. Time becomes the enemy, marking its victorious passage on our bodies with unwelcome commemorations. Sometimes it can feel as if the whole world is changing, and changing too fast. It can feel like you might wake up tomorrow and no longer recognize the world. And that can be scary. Back in May, Ireland was asked to make a change. Now, in some ways, it wasn't a big change. In a way, we were just asked to let more people get married if they want to. But to some people, on both sides of the question, it was huge. For some of us, me included, we were being asked to finally decide, 40 years after a few brave men and women first asked, whether or not LGBT people are full and equal members of this society and deserving of the same respect as everyone else. But others didn't see it that way. They felt we were being asked to change a fundamental social institution that they cherish and admire, and they worried that changing it might weaken or even ruin it. And that's okay. You know, on the day of the referendum result, a mischievous English journalist asked me in front of the world's media at Dublin Castle whether I could forgive the people who voted no. And my answer today is the same as it was then. I've nothing to forgive them for. For the most part, people who voted no did so out of genuinely held concerns. But I hope and believe that in time they'll come to realize that their concerns were unfounded and come to agree with the rest of us that May 22nd was indeed a good day for Ireland. If they haven't already. I hope so, anyway. Change isn't always easy, but it's absolutely necessary. Now, I don't mean change for change's sake, but there are very few things in life that are perfect or remain fit for purpose over time. Well, again, possibly Cher. So let's stop fearing change. Let's look at ourselves, at Ireland, with an open mind and credit ourselves with what we do well, but also have the courage to see what we don't do so well, and then have the courage to change it. Our Constitution promises to cherish all of the children of the nation equally. But until May, we failed to live up to that promise for gay people. The referendum result felt like an acknowledgement of that failure and the closest thing to an apology for forcing generations of LGBT Irish people to emigrate or lead miserable hidden lives. For people like me, May 22nd felt like a fresh start. And for that, I'm very grateful. But LGBT people aren't the only ones for whom we have failed to live up to the promise of cherishing all of the children of the nation equally. I don't think the young man settling down to sleep in a doorway tonight feels equally cherished. I don't think the mother spending Christmas with her kids in a B&B feels equally cherished. I don't think the travelers spending Christmas on a rat-infested temporary halting site feel equally cherished. I don't think the elderly woman on a trolley in a crowded hospital corridor feels equally cherished. I don't think the kid who can't get into his local school because he's not the right religion feels equally cherished. I don't think people with a disability or struggling with mental health issues feel equally cherished. There are times when Irish women don't feel equally cherished. The kind of change that we need to make to live up to that promise to cherish all of the children of the nation equally may seem daunting. But if May 22nd taught us anything, it's that if we feel strongly enough about something, and if we work together, we can achieve incredible things. We can move mountains. I mean, if I had told someone 20 years ago that someone like me would get to speak to you all in your Christmas living rooms today, they'd have quietly called the doctor. I don't live in Ireland because I have to. I don't pretend to live in this elegant residence that we've borrowed for the afternoon because I have to. I live in Ireland because I love it. I love it fiercely. But I wasn't always sure that Ireland loved me back. I'm as Irish as it's possible to be. Born in the proud county of Mayo, I'm an O'Neill on one side and an O'Donnell on the other. I'm as Irish as a Spiceburger or Sharon Ní Bheoláin in the way she might look at you. But I wasn't always sure that Irishness was elastic enough to include someone like me. But I am now. We didn't change the definition of marriage on May 22nd, but we did expand the definition of Irishness to include people like me. And for that, I'm very grateful. It feels great. I wish you all a Merry Christmas, surrounded, I hope, by cherished loved ones, and wish you all a Happy New Year full of possibilities.